BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy. Sorry, I started that with a rather unpleasant plosive, just because it's so blimmin' hot. I was just going... That's approximately the sound I've been making all day today. Hello, I'm Dan. This is BRB UK, episode 503. Welcome one and all to Heat Death of the Universe 2 Electric Boogaloo, if you're living in the UK. Hope you're well. I'm joined as ever by Tim. Say hello.
Hello.
Excellent lag today, Tim. Going to compliment you on
Good.
it. And Coleman. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Very happy. Nice sunny hot day.
You've outshirted me once again.
Yep. I'm ready for my job at Banana Republic.
Nice. I'm
Yep.
sorry that. Yep. Right.
Would you like to buy some sandals?
I'm all good, thanks, mate.
Okay.
You look more like an
Next question.
international hitman of mystery, but yeah, off
Okay.
on
We
your
can't
beach
talk
holidays.
about that. We've established that before. He can't talk about his job.
But you've also got another shirt on view as well for the viewers. A Pompey shirt
Oh,
Pompey.
just
yeah.
behind you.
Yeah, the new Pompey kit's out.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Everyone's happy.
The only football club not sponsored by by a betting company with questionable morals. Lovely.
No, we're sponsored by our local university. Funnily enough, called the Portsmouth
Hang on.
University.
Aren't universities generally fairly hard up for cash?
Oh, yeah.
And you cheeky buggers are taking money from them to play pig bladderball. How is that right?
Well,
how
they
is
just-
that meant to educate the masses?
They just got a load of advertising on our podcast for now, Dan. For
Yeah,
none.
that's like three
They're
people.
a university. I don't care. They can, the universities need all the love and attention they can get. They don't need to be giving money to, frankly, third-rate football clubs. That is not within their remit of educating the populace, is it?
I mean, old Pompey Uni, they turn up to like EGX and stuff to do advertising, so I'm sure they're okay. I mean, it used to be the
I'm
job
not sure I
centre,
approve.
so this is a much better upgrade of sponsorship.
Yeah, and Tim looks like he's coming at you from an IKEA showroom.
Lots
That's
of
'cause he
Kallaxes
is.
behind me.
That's where Tim lives now.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where Tim lives. He exists on a diet of IKEA meatballs, which explains the rather particular bouquet of fumes in his front room.
Although I currently have a kitchen not in my kitchen throughout my house, which is currently filling up lots of things. There's a couple of extra things in here, but most of it's
What?
in the rest of my house. I had a new kitchen delivered today, and it is currently taking
Well done.
up
Right.
all of the
Did you get him
space
to
in my
install
flat.
it, or are they just...
No, that's happening next week.
Great. Can I just compliment you on your project management there, Tim?
Well,
that is fantastic
To
work.
be fair, that's the fault of the kitchen people. That was supposed to be coming last week, and the kitchen fit was supposed to be coming at that time, and they messed up the delivery.
Oh,
so
there we go.
We had to rearrange things
I
at the
thought it was
last
just 'cause
minute.
you lived
This
in a
is the best we
showroom.
could do. I'm
Well,
also
toilet's
away
not
this
plumbed in.
weekend, so having stuff over the house this weekend won't be too much of a problem because I won't be here. So yeah.
Oh, just be playing on your mind. You'll know it's there. All of the unplumbed in stuff, mocking you with hints of what it could be, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to fill up some water, says Mr. Tap. Well, you can't because I'm not plumbed in. I don't know where... Heat does strange things to me.
Yeah.
For our listeners, if you're looking for any free kitchen clobber, then break into go. If you want to go into Finchley,
No.
Yep. Find Hibbs Towers and,
I mean-
and then go and help yourself to some IKEA Schlurgenhürden
It's
or whatever
not
kitchen
an IKEA
items
kitchen.
he said living. No?
That's one of the reasons I thought to mention it because yeah, we didn't go IKEA for the kitchen.
I look at you and you're upmarket ways.
this is all very interesting.
Yeah, well there you go. This is good middle-aged podcast.
So yeah, so much fun though this middle class bants is. We probably talk about some video games. Guess what I've been playing with?
We're not allowed to talk about that on the show.
Yeah,
My
it's a
massive
family show.
my
Family
massive
friendly.
once again.
What do
Massive
we say then? Family
My
friendly.
massive steamy dick. Yeah. I bet seriously, there's new Dead Cell. Since I last visited Dead Cells, there's new DLC and even more expansion. I just want to give them a massive shout out because Dead Cells is a brilliant game that I think is that available on PSXS Pro Plus Max. I think it might be. If
Maybe
it isn't,
I don't
it
know.
should be.
think it
And if
might
it
have
isn't,
been
you should
this.
buy it because it's a great game. I love me roguelites. I love me Metroidvania. I've really got back into this game in a big way. It's one of those great games that they just keep adding more and more to. And in fact, the amount of love and attention they give to it makes me feel not so bad about having to drop £3 for some DLC once a year. So, yeah, been playing it again. Love it. Dead Cells, great game. Buy it. There we go.
Good.
That's how you do a quick game review, Tim. Suck it.
That's a really quick game review.
I'm not
I like
going to be
Dead
as
Cells.
quick.
I should go back to the. I should go back to playing the Switch version of that. Good game.
Oh, it's great on handhelds. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Have
you
Really.
I have a question,
and
Dan.
they've just done a massive rebalancing update on it. Yes, Tim.
Did you play on Switch and Steam Deck then, Dead Cells?
I just played on my massive dick.
So you didn't play on Switch previously?
I have previously played it on Switch. It's
Okay.
one of those games that I've ended up buying about 3 times.
Because I was just wondering if that's one
And I
of the-
really wish it had cloud save, but it doesn't.
I was just wondering if that is one of the first games you had a directly comparable, play of it on Switch versus the Steam Deck and how it holds up in the Steam Deck in comparison.
Well, it's not exactly a demanding game. I would say it runs really well on both. I think obviously with the Steam Deck, I think the quality of the kind of the inputs you've got in terms of how nice the buttons are, how good the joysticks are. Again, I think that the Steam Deck has nearly full-size thumbsticks on it, whereas you have the little twiddly little nubbins.
With all the stick drift in the world.
Hey, look, exactly. Stick drift comes to us all. But yeah, I mean, it plays really, really. And that's why you've got to wipe round the seat, kids. Okay, wipe round the seat. Stick drift gets us all. Yeah, where was I going with that?
Oh, no
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, neither have I.
Race to the bottom, I think.
I mean, yeah, it's a great. Exactly, it's a great game on any platform, but particularly shines on the Steam Deck. It's great on Switch. If you have both, I'd probably go Steam Deck, but that's just me.
Good.
Yeah. Interested.
But also good in a kind of non-handheld fashion. If you want to play it on PlayStation, PS5, or your Xboxes, it's all good there. It's just a great game. Play
Good
it. It's
still.
amazing.
Yeah, they are really good.
Yeah.
I've played a new game this week. I think I'm the only one who's played a new game this week.
Okay, well, you go
Aren't
first.
you a big
Mr.
old
Coleman.
show-off?
Oh yeah. Well, I should. I'm playing GigaBash, which
What?
Ooh.
Care?
I'm sure this has popped up in video game previews and stuff, and I've seen trailers of it and gone, yeah, this looks great. It basically
I
looks like-
have a question.
Yep.
Is it a power of 10 more impressive than Mega Bash?
Sure.
They're getting their multiplication and prefixes right. Would you say it's 1,000 times better than Mega Bash?
I would say it's a direct inspiration, inspired by Godzilla Destroy All Monsters game.
Ooh.
And,
Right.
I'm leaving the math jokes in the past so I can talk about the actual game itself.
Math
Smash
jokes
your way
cool.
through them, Coleman.
Don't give me that. Don't. No.
But
Never.
This has popped up before. It's basically a 4-player fighting game where you are all assortments of kaiju and you fight in a cityscape. And this has been done before, so like the Godzilla games, Destroy All Monsters.
Rawr.
Other names are escaping me off the top of my head right now. But this one specifically, it's
King of
like
the
the Destroy All
Monsters?
Monsters game
I want
because
to say.
it has the King of the Monsters. That I think that was Mega Drive
Yeah.
and
yeah. Well, that sort of era, at least.
other Neo Geo. Yeah, that kind of
Yes.
era of games. And this one, it's directly inspired from. It's all legally different. I think that I can't remember what the other one that I was playing before. I think it was called Overdrive or something along those lines, but similar type of thing, 2 to 4 player. But it was kind of made to be very slow and clunky, as if you were a giant monster fighting, you would be slow and clunky. This one has more of that speed of the original Godzilla games.
Speed of the
And,
Puma.
there's no kind of licenses thrown in there. Everything is directly inspired. So a lot of it is kaiju, Godzilla type stuff. There's an Ultraman type character. There's one that is like a child in a mech that's very much like Neon Genesis Evangelion. And yeah, goes together really lovely. And one of the best characters is that there is an Ultraman type clone character. The idea meant being that he was Ultraman about the time when Ultraman movies were big, but now he's kind of old and out of shape. So he's like Ultraman with a beer belly, and he gets a bad back if he gets hit too many times and all that kind of thing.
Ultra chap, if you
Yeah.
will.
It's a nice bit of it's if I was Ultraman. It's kind of thing.
I think if any three of us were Ultraman.
Yeah,
We
good
are
point.
3 Ultramen.
But it plays really well. Unfortunately, apparently the best way to play this is couch fighting. Local
Couch
Couch
fighting.
fighting.
couch fighting.
Hit
Yes!
each other with couches.
It's like an extreme pillow fighting.
Yeah. No,
Get rid of
I was going to say
pillows,
couch
bash
co-op,
each other
but
around
it's
the
not
face with a
cooperative
couch.
title, so that doesn't make any sense. So local
Right.
multiplayer, I will say. From a
Okay.
lot of the reviews, it says that that's the best way to play this game, and it's a lot of fun and easy to pick up, and quite easy to master as well. But unfortunately, I've been on my own for a week and a half
Aw.
now, so I've actually had no one to play with locally.
You've just been waving a couch about with no one to hit with it. It's dreadful.
Yeah, I've been playing the story mode. The story modes for 4 of the different characters. Unfortunately, that is it. You just go for a little bit of a story. There's motion comics in between setting it up, and then a couple of in-game engine cutscenes, and then you do fights, and some of those are situational objectives that you have to follow through, and then once you've done those, you beat the level and you go on to the next one, and that's good and fine and stuff. The motion comics were really nice. I was enjoying the stories. There's one of them particularly. There's a character called Woolley, who's a giant yeti, who's like your kind of
Original name.
Well, it's your he's meant to be your stock cute Japanese type character, like big goony face and tongue always hanging out, that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed that character because unlike all the others, it's done in the style of a nature documentary where he's being observed and there's a narrator narrating, and then he's wandered off and ended up fighting other kaijus, and the narrator's like, well, I might as well go follow them off to different Japanese cities and see what's going on with this Woolley. And it's told like that. It's very playful and funny. Unfortunately, it is only for those 4 characters. Once that's done, that's the end of the story. If you want to master other, get you to hang with the other characters, then you need to start playing the multiplayer, and or you could do a bit of arcade mode or whatever, just fight bots and play that way. So yeah, I really enjoyed the story, but it doesn't. You can beat it in a day. Unfortunately, there's not too much to go on with that.
Okay.
The most I've been playing this game is the online and playing with randos. And I kind of like the way it does this because once I started waiting for the first match, it took a couple of minutes to find someone to fight against. But then when it started, it went, okay, well, it's taking too long to find other people. We're just going to stick some bots in, put you 2 together, and off you go fight. And then each time we finished fighting, it would go back to the lobby and then scan again, but it would do it much quicker than the first time. So we did like 3 games on our own against bots, and then eventually it just jumped up to 4 players, and then it was cracking fun. Really good game. I'm really enjoying this. I think it's I did write it down, £28.99. So I would recommend picking that up, especially if you have friends to play locally with, because that sounds like a lot of fun that you could be screaming and shouting at each other while you're smashing up buildings.
How much can you buy a couch for, do you reckon?
I don't know.
I'm just
Google DFS.
just wondering if money's a bit tight, can you buy 2 second-hand couches and just batter each other with couches?
Sure,
I like
if you
this
want.
idea.
I mean, you got to lift them.
I feel there's a game idea in here somewhere.
Yeah. I did forget to say there's 2 modes to this, kind of differentiated from the previous types of monster fighting games. One is that you can power up your character by attacking other players, or there's these orbs that will randomly drop that you can pick up. Once you've picked up enough power, you hit the 2 shoulder buttons, then you become an S-class monster, and your monster just grows to an even larger size kaiju, and then your attacks become more powerful and you become like the dominant force. And if you time it right, then you've got 4 giant S-class monsters just taking up the entire map, and that's
nice.
fun. There's also, I don't know the name of this item, but there's a kind of smash ball type item, much like Super Smash Brothers. If you find one of them floating around, then you've got to chase after it and smash it. First one to break it, they get to use their power move. So you hit square and it will do some different type of power move for each monster available. Woolley's one is my favorite again, because you pick a direction and then you fire, and then all these different Woolley Yetis just come balling across the screen, because they're round characters. They come rolling across the screen and just take everyone down. He's my favorite character to beat people up with, because you can have him in pink and he's goony, and it really annoys people when they get beat by him. And he's got Kirby powers. He can like inhale them and spit them out and stuff.
Nice.
It's funny.
Nice.
Yeah. I recommend GigaBash, sorry.
GigaBash.
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 What are you playing it on, Mr. Coleman?
Bash your gigs.
PlayStation 5.
What other platforms could I play it on, Mr. Coleman?
You can play that on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Huzzah!
I might wait for a
Huzzah.
sale, but I might pick that up at some stage so we can play some multipass maybe.
Well, if you do decide that, Tim, all you need to do is me and the entire audience will be right here on the edge of our seats waiting for you to make that purchasing decision. So thank you.
Good stuff.
Right here.
One of the things that makes me hold fire on that is I have been continuing to enjoy the MultiVersus beta. I don't think that's gone live yet for 1.0, has it? I think it's still in beta.
No, they delayed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they're delaying it and delaying Morty and I think it was just Morty rather than Morty and Rick. But he's been delayed for a bit.
You can't have Rick without Morty.
Exactly. Well, you can apparently. It's
not right.
It's one of the weird things. They've got like some of the Scooby-Doo characters, but not Scooby-Doo. And and there's Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, but like there's gaps in all the rosters at the moment that they can definitely like add more characters to in the future. Unlocked Iron Giant and really enjoyed him. I made a friend online while playing myself myself as Taz.
Made a friend online while playing with myself. How was your OnlyFans account going, Tim?
With a Shaggy, and we were teaming up and taking people down, and that was really good fun. And I've been, as I said, continued to enjoy that. The stuff that I was actually going to talk about was also
onlyfans.com/Mr. November.
No, it isn't. We're going to get someone. There's going to be someone with that name. That's not good. The other thing I'll go through very quickly though is that I did finish the case in Lord Winklebottom Investigates, which we mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the show.
Again, onlyfans.com/Mr. November.
Again, one that
/Winklebottom.
I will mention that I got a review code for because I'm talking about it. But I tied up the case as I suspected when I talked about it at the time. I was reasonably close to the end of the case. Yeah, without giving too much away, I was kind of half right with who I thought was guilty. And it was.
So you were wrong.
Well, no. Anyway, as I said, can't really give it away.
You're
without
you're either right or you're not right. It's a
much.
binary thing.
Not really.
Right, but you weren't right, so you were wrong.
Anyway, but I continued to enjoy it to the end. There was some really good fun stuff in there. I didn't actually get any more points where I got stuck at any point in time, so the end of that game was just added to the enjoyment, not the frustration that I felt with the game. So that was generally a recommend especially if you like point and click adventures. Mr. Coleman, you said you were planning on picking it up or had picked it up. Did you get a chance to play
I have it.
Or no?
I haven't booted it up. I was going to play it this week, and then I realized looking at the schedule, there are like 4 games out this week that I want to play, and 2 of them have arrived. There was that arcade game that Tim was talking about a while ago.
Arcade Paradise.
Kind of laundromat simulator. Yeah, Arcade Paradise. That just arrived today. I completely forgot I pre-ordered that when you were talking about it. So that's just arrived. There's hold on, let me check my notes.
Cursed Golf.
Cult of the Lamb. That's out.
Cursed Golf. That's next week.
That Cursed Golf is out next week. Rumbleverse came out today. They've turned that into free to play now. So I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Cult of the Lamb, that came out today. Yesterday as we're recording, as the podcast comes out.
Axiom Verge 2, that also came out.
Lost in Play, that came out 2 days ago, and I'm really looking forward to that as well, because that's another point and click adventure as well, and it looks gorgeous on the Switch.
I'm going to have at least several of those in my stuff I'm done playing.
Yeah.
Or I will be playing. I'm really looking forward to Cult of the Lamb, actually.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I'm debating, because I really want to get it on Switch. PlayStation credit, and it's about £3 cheaper if you get it on PlayStation, and I might just do that instead. But
I won't play on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know if that's going to be as good for a kind of management, part roguelike sort of thing. It seems like there's going to be a lot of timing issues with that playing over the internet.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And the other thing I need to play, which I completely forgot to, is the captaincy update for Sea of Thieves as well.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Yes, we definitely should. Although I'm away all weekend, but next week.
No, we'll do it without you.
Okay, well, you can.
We're
Oh,
leaving
you
you
in
out.
Pompey as well. So is it just going to be
Oh
me?
yeah, I'm in Portsmouth.
Yeah. So I'll be sailing a ship,
Yeah.
assuming that I haven't melted.
I'll be on via Game Pass in Fratton Park.
Nice.
Speaking of free update.
I look forward to you hoisting the mainsails 5 minutes after they were needing hoisting.
Speaking of updates to games, I kind of mentioned it last week and I'll gloss over it a little bit, but the Into the
No, you don't. You
Breach
weren't here.
Advanced Edition is very good. Is also the other thing I think I forgot to mention last week is that it's available for free in inverted commas
Wasn't here last
on
week.
iOS and Android. Well, a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned it. It's available on iOS and Android via Netflix games. So
Easy
if
for you
you
to say.
log into your phone, go to games in the game section on Netflix. You can download it for free and play it for free. It's a really good expansion. It's added loads of powers and different enemy types and different scenarios and different pilot abilities. It's made the game new again, and more importantly, it's got more mechs and different squads and different combinations and different things you got to do to unlock them all as well. So it's a really good update. And even if you own the game already, it's worth diving back into because it does refresh it quite nicely.
Yeah, and that's I was going to just reiterate. That update is completely free to everyone who already owns it.
Yeah.
So well done. That's a good. You guys are good guys.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
We like.
That's how to update it in ways of that's not quite as kind an update, but is also good. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got its new courses as well, so I've been playing them over the last week as well. I'll run through the courses quickly.
Isn't that quite expensive?
I can't remember what it was. I know I got a discount at the time. I think it was around 20-something pounds, and you get to get all the different DLCs. And this is the second one of an upcoming 6, I believe. Second one of 6 in total. So it's 8 courses per time. That's not bad overall, I think, basically. I think I've already almost got my money's worth in the fact that I hadn't picked up Mario Kart for ages. And I played all the old courses when they came out and then got into playing some other bits and bobs. And then I've been playing all these new courses as well. I'll run through the courses quickly because I think most people know what Mario Kart is and does, and it plays as well as it ever did.
Never heard of it.
In case you didn't know, Mario Kart 8 is a
strategy
very
game, right?
good version of Mario Kart, the kind of thing that defined a kart racer. But there's a couple of new tracks that have come in from Tour, so they haven't really been in what I would regard as a full Mario Kart game previously. New York Minute and Sydney Sprint. So they're both kind of got similar features in the fact that they've got a real world setting and a variable track. So all 3 laps of each track is slightly different. There's a slight variation to the route.
So each time you go round, rather than being 3 variants of the same track.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
It's 3 slight
cool.
different things.
I like that.
Different bits open up. Like, for instance, on Sydney Sprint, for some reason, in the first and third lap, you seem to go through the Sydney Opera House, but you go round the side kind of building in the first lap, and then in the third lap, you fly into the main kind of Sydney Opera House kind of thing. And that's really cool.
Do you want to know a fun fact about the Sydney Opera House?
What's that?
I'm going to tell you regardless.
Right.
Oh, it's in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's an opera house?
I share a birthday with... I share a birthday with Sydney Opera House. I discovered, thanks to Wikipedia.
With the actual opera house. As in, it
the
was
actual opera
built
house.
on and opened on the same day that you were born? Or?
Yeah, all on the same day. It just appeared out the ether. It was just like, boom. Of course, that's what happened.
Sydney
You
Opera
silly
House
arse.
was
No,
not
the
built
day was
in a day,
opened.
Dan.
God damn it, Tim. It was open that day. You unstoppable moron. Jesus.
I was just trying to confirm whether it was actually opened on the day you were born or just your birthday in a different year.
Tell you what,
because that'd be less interesting.
God damn it!
Are we all doing Sydney Opera House facts?
I laugh if
we
you
are.
look this up
Cool.
and it's not true and it's a totally different day.
Sydney Opera House. It was formally opened.
Yeah.
It was 6 years before I was born.
in one of the Godzilla movies where Godzilla
But I
has to
share
go
a birthday with it,
around
Tim.
the
Don't
world
ruin this fun
fighting
fact.
different kaiju. He fights the 90s version of Godzilla from the American film, but he's just called Zilla now because he is no god. And Godzilla throws him into the Sydney Opera House and then destroys him with atomic breath.
Good, nice link to your
Atomic
game.
breath.
That's good.
Yeah, Godzilla.
There we go. See? It's all about the... Look at that. That is how you do a callback right there. You were saying, Tim.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the other tracks that make up the ones that have been added, there's Mario Circuit 3 from the SNES. It's fine, but it's a very, it was the third best Mario Circuit game on the SNES kind of thing. I mean, it's nice that it's there, but it wasn't exactly needed. Calamari Desert, if you remember, that's the one that's got the train running through it and the train tracks that you run alongside and crisscross. And
N64.
Yeah, N64 one. And that's a really nice version of that. And I quite like having that one back. That feels like a good addition. Waluigi Pinball, which was a kind of fan's favorite request of one to come back from the DS. I don't know why everyone goes on about this track so much. It's so random that it annoys me at times. It's fine, it's fun for most of it, but there are bits where you just get obliterated and what's the name? Although having said that, I like the New York Minute track that I was mentioning before, the one from Tour, but I find that really hard to get first place in 150cc. I get chiefed on the line every time.
Maybe you need to get good, sucker.
That may be the thing.
Get good scrub.
Every other race I pretty much got first time and kind of golded all the way through, but hey. And 200cc is just insane. But then, there's Snowland from the GBA, which again is fine, but there's better snowy levels from other games already in Mario Kart 8, so it's okay. It's okay to have it there. Mushroom Gorge.
Better snow elsewhere.
Mushroom Gorge was one of the tracks that I was like, oh, was this not in the game already? I forgot, but it's one of the games from Wii, one of the tracks from Wii. It's a nice addition. It's one where it's got the big mushrooms that you kind of bounce over to get over things and stuff, and it's a fun track. I really quite like this track, so this is a really good addition for me. I like that. And then the last track in the second cup, which is the Propeller Cup, I forgot to mention the other one's called the Turnip Cup. They're the two new cups, and the last one of the tracks is the first one that's a completely new track for the game and for Mario Kart in general. And it's called Sky High Sunday, and that's basically a dessert-themed level. It's quite a fun theme.
Exactly what I was going to ask.
You're kind of flying through a big sundae to start with a big hole in it, and then it kind of bounces around, and then you go curving up some steps, and it feels like a kind of funfair kind of track. But in a good way, that's quite a nice one. It's quite a good one to end a cup on.
As opposed to funfair in a bad way. So it doesn't involve clowns, is what you're saying.
Not bad funfairs with scary clowns. And
not bad funfair.
Bad halls
or just fairs, is there no?
Yes.
Fair fairs.
Just average fairs. Just
fair fairs.
Just boring, average fairs. Overall, the 8 tracks are good additions. As I said, the only thing that has annoyed me that New York Minute seems really hard to get first place. But other than that, it's one of those things where it's a bit too easy to get first place in 150cc, and 200cc I don't find enjoyable. So I've said about my problems with Mario Kart 8, but it's still a fantastic game. They're still good additions as tracks, and I've been enjoying it again. So it's good. I recommend.
Good. So if you wanted to, if you don't have the Ultra subscription Nintendo Premium thingy, bob, though, you get to play the booster pack for free. Then you can pick it up for £22.49 on the eShop. Yeah. Or if you go over to Shop 2, £16.85.
Ooh, it's the noise I shall make to celebrate that fact.
I think that was the link that I sent Tim directly after he bought it.
Yeah, that's
good.
Thanks.
A bit nice bit of Schadenfreude.
By Grabthar's hammer. What a savings.
And the only other game I want to give an honourable mention to, because we've mentioned a lot this week, and I'm disappointed that neither of you are as interested as I am as picking up Bear and Breakfast. That would be a great one for your Steam Deck, Dan. But I really like the look of Bear and Breakfast, and I'm looking forward to that coming to consoles in the future, hopefully.
Bear and Breakfast.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
No?
I'm not into those kind of management sim type games. There's no power.
I have a
washers
lot
and-
of management to do in my day-to-day life, and unless
Yeah.
it involves, sacrificing people to some random deity in the name of a cult, then I'm probably not really interested.
I know it's cute and you can be a bear that runs a bed and breakfast, but you can't just go like full psycho berserker bear and rip a customer's face off because they've complained about the
that'd be
fluffiness
so
of
amazing.
the towels.
Yeah, that's definitely not that
amazing.
style of game. It looks more like you're a funny bear than a scary
No,
bear.
that was Steve coming out again there, Cole.
Not a scare bear. Yeah.
What?
I demand to be moved to a better room. Smash their face off.
Rip
with
your
the paw.
face off.
Brilliant. That's the game I want. Someone make that.
Yep. Make it
Hey,
happen. That and couch fighting. That's what we want.
Can we do some news?
Let's do some news.
And did we all watch the Splatoon 3 Direct?
I did not.
No. I've kind of...
I did my homework this time.
Okay.
Yay.
I checked out of Splatoon, I'm afraid. I liked the first
Fair
one,
enough.
but I'm not there for it, I'm afraid.
I never bought the second one, but I might go in for this one.
Let me put you on the spot.
Right?
Okay.
All right. Convince me, the grumpy old curmudgeon that I am, why should I care about Splatoon 3? Why?
Because, I mean, have you played any of the Splatoon games?
No.
Okay.
The Splatoon's a really good game. That's
They
all
are
you
really
need.
good. I'm
All
not
right,
going to deny that.
All right, but why the third? Why do we need 3? Why, Coleman? Why?
Okay. I mean, well, I can't convince you why
Why?
we need a third game, but I can
No, but
go
why
through
do we need a
what was
third
announced
game?
on the... I can't answer these things for you, you bellend.
Tell me exciting things from this.
Because we've
Okay.
already had
Excited.
2 games
All right.
before, Dan, and 3 comes after 2.
Anyway, the big announcements that were made on this stream, and quite a lot of it began, it was kind of explaining the basics of Splatoon, which felt a bit like, if you're watching a whole direct dedicated to Splatoon 3, then I think you know what Splatoon's about. You can be a hybrid kid squid. You're a child, and you can fire like a water pistol that's full of ink at other players to kill them. But the game is not about taking out the other players. It's about kind of a graffiti mode, like in Tony Hawk, where you're spraying your
wholesome
color
fun.
ink all over the place, and the team that has the most ink around the map, then they win. Also,
So
you have the
teenage
ability
squids
to...
having a spaff off over the urban jungle. That's what I'm
Sure.
hearing.
You can also
Great.
go into squid mode, where you turn into a little squid, and then any of the ink that is in your color, you can swim along it, and that includes going up walls and things. So that's the basis of Splatoon.
It was Squid Game before Squid Game.
I've never seen Squid Game, so I have
Tim,
no
no.
idea if that's a real
Come on
thing.
now.
I mean,
You're better than that.
If-
it
if
is
It's a
the
game
Squid
with squids
Game.
in it. It doesn't mean there's a game with squids in it. It's not Squid
That
Game.
makes it a
I mean,
Squid
if
Game
it's
in my book,
if
Dan.
Squid
No,
Game
it's a
turns
game
out to
with
be
squids in
Splatoon,
it.
If it
the TV
walks
show,
like
I'll
a
watch
squid
it, but I've
and it
got a feeling
swims like a
isn't.
squid,
They went through the multiplayer modes. Turf War is going to be the main multiplayer mode. That's the one that I just described. But there's also a
As
ranked
in surf
version.
and turf.
Yes, there's also a ranked
It's a little bit
version
close
of
to the
that,
mark.
which is called Anarchy Battles. Salmon Run from Splatoon 2 returns, which I believe that's you team up 4 players, take it down enemies, and then you have to go against a boss at the end and try and currency through that. And then every now and then they throw like a huge boss at you that you have to take down as well. There's also going to be 2 other unannounced modes that are coming post-launch. They've replaced so whenever you went into a multiplayer lobby to join new games, it was just kind of a loading screen. That's now been replaced with an open area lobby that allows you to go around and test out new weapons and warm up for the match. This one's for Tim. They've added a new game mode called Table Turf Battle, which is a one-on-one
Right.
card game version of Turf War.
ooh, they
There
said
you go.
card game.
Tim has been sold. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The new story mode that is now this is meant to focus on discovering the secrets of the fuzzy ooze. Now, Dr. Dan, is there something you can prescribe for the fuzzy ooze?
I wouldn't even know where to start. There is so much. If you're okay, ooze, generally speaking, not a good thing. Okay,
That's
Okay.
a bad word.
fuzzy ooze, even worse.
Fuzzy
all right?
ooze,
So
bad.
just that's my advice. Just don't. All right.
Put a cork in it.
No,
Okay.
no, don't do that either. You don't want to keep the fuzzy
The
ooze in.
secret of the fuzzy ooze.
I mean, you need to let the fuzzy ooze out, but preferably not on anyone else. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right, it's true, but it's true. You know, just because you got fuzzy ooze doesn't mean other people want the fuzzy ooze. You can feel very pleased with fuzzy ooze, but just let it get it out of your system in the privacy of your own home and not spread the fuzzy ooze to anybody else.
Let the
Wash
right
your hands,
fuzzy ooze
all of that.
in.
No, okay. Look, Tim, I've got to look. This is a very complicated scientific issue, and we don't have time on this podcast tonight. So
there's 3 new tie-in amiibo. I don't particularly like the amiibo functionality in this game. All it is about saving costumes and things and loadouts. I think that's waste of an amiibo. And I won't be getting them because they're not Smash Brother ones. I just want the Smash Brother ones. And I stopped buying them a while ago. Well, I just want I've explained it many times. I just want a complete of the Smash Brothers amiibos. I think they look cool. I just think they're neat. Splatfest, they return. This is like the big multiplayer events that they put on for a particular amount of time, where they set up teams and then those might be represented by Daddy or Chips, Decepticons, and what's the other ones? The Voltrons? Autobots, that's the one.
Don't make me come there and slap you. How dare you get those franchises messed up?
We've discussed this. I'm not of the right age for Transformers of either generation. Missed it one side, too late the other side. So there you go. Anyway, those are like fun things where they run events for a few days and you get assigned into a team and you're earning points for that team and then see who wins by the end of it. So those are going to return, and they're going to start by doing a pre-release event on August the 27th where everyone with a Switch will be able to download a version of Splatoon 3 just for the Splatfest and play. And it's going to be 3 teams of rock, paper, and scissors to determine which is best. The game is out on September the 9th. I recommend watching the Direct because if you don't know anything about Splatoon and want to know what this one's about, it looks like
that's a good way to find out.
A good old fun time with, and well, I mean, it's a very it's a very colourful, fun looking game, and I really enjoyed the first game. I never jumped in on the second one, always meant to, but now there's a third one coming. I needn't bother and just jump into the third one instead.
Squiddly diddly.
Yeah. We had EVO 2022 between the last show and now, and I'm sure lots of people fought in video game tournaments, and some people won, and there was prizes and things, but we don't care about that. We just want to know about all the new game updates and announcements and things. So
yeah,
everyone just announced rollback netcode. That's it.
That seems to be that's the big flavor of this year's EVO 2022 announcements. First being King of the Fighters 15, that is getting a crossplay update some point next year. And then rollback netcode updates. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, that's got an update right now. Samurai Showdown, that's going to get one in spring of next year. And Dragon Ball Fighters, that is getting an update at some point. We've not been told when, but that's not going to be on all the versions. That's going to be on the PC and then the upgraded PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, which I did look around. It seems like they're saying if you own PlayStation 4, Xbox One versions, those are free upgrades, but it doesn't outright say free. So it might be a charge or something. I don't know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's got to be really awkward if you were the guy who wrote the new netcode, right? And then getting you around to going, look, Bob, this is how it is. Everyone preferred it how it used to be, and your netcode's rubbish, so we're going to put the old one back in. How would that make you feel? Make me feel pretty bad. It made me feel like I was a pretty bad netcode person.
Well,
that's
then
how I would feel about it.
Stick to playing it on the previous generation and Switch.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you introduce new netcode if the old netcode was perfectly good?
Because the netcode wasn't perfectly good, I think is the idea.
But then why roll back to it?
I don't know, dude.
That's not what they're doing. It's just the name.
It's
like
it doesn't mean they're rolling back to the old netcode. It means it's a different type of rollback netcode is a different type of
allows for rollbacks.
Netcode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it does predictive input. Like it was something that they were touting for the what was that thing called? Stadia. That never happened.
Oh, it did happen. Just everyone forgot about it.
No, Stadia happened. The netcode didn't happen because it was going to be a future update, and
that never happened.
So yeah.
They Googled it.
We previously got the announcement of Umbral Core, a new 2D fighting game coming at some point. There was a preview trailer at the event. Looks fine. I'm not massively excited about it, but there's going to be a Kickstarter and an open alpha available later this year. So get more information that time later. One of the biggest announcements was there's going to be a new Fatal Fury, which is also called Garu title that is going to come out at some point. They've only just announced it that they're working on it, so I don't know if it's been in development for a while or if they're literally like, we're going to make this thing, see you in 3 years. But it's interesting because the last time we had one of these titles was Garu Mark of the Wolves, which released in 2000. So yeah,
Wow.
22 years since we've had one of these titles, and then they went, hey, let's announce this at PlayStation's EVO.
Percivo.
One of the other big announcements was the 2 new fighters revealed for Street Fighter 6. You've got a new character called Kimberly.
She looked really cool.
Looks pretty cool, like a kind of...
Oh, she'd look right at home with those crazy Splatoon kids,
Yes.
wouldn't she? With all
Yeah,
the
all
spray
those
paint.
spray cans and
graffitis.
all that. That's my my sort of fighter, one that's fast and has all the nimbly moves, kind of a lucha libre sort of thing. But with graffiti, why not? And the other one was the return of Street Fighter 4's. Is it Yuri Han?
Yeah, she's a bit of a
Yuri
nutter.
She's just generally known. But yeah, like, she was really good. I liked her in previous games. Was she in the last one? She was definitely in 5.
I don't think she was.
Yeah. No. Right. No, sorry. She was new for 5. She wasn't in 4, I believe, is correct.
She was in 4, according to this release.
Was it? Oh, maybe she was a DLC character.
I don't know.
For 4.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
she was. I don't think she
A
was
lot of
original.
an undue amount of tension was made, was spent on her feet. I thought in the video.
Well,
Very odd.
she is all mainly kick based, basically. So yeah.
The trailer was that was co-produced by Quentin Tarantino, as we all know.
Yeah, loves feet.
Actually, Uma Thurman's feet.
Are you excited for those characters, Tim?
Yep, they both look good. As I said, I liked Jury before, and Kimberly looks like an interesting new addition. She wasn't the
Kimberly.
only one. Like, they talked about the fact that you could like obtain spray cans to kind of power her up, and that looked like there was a similar mechanic going in with their. We called it a drunken master when we were talking about before, but one of the previous characters they announced.
But she's huffing spray cans
Yeah,
instead.
seemed to be a similar thing where that seems to
Don't do that at home, kids.
to power up. And there seem to be characters that you have to kind of do that too. I don't know if that's going to be something that's unique to those characters. I'm guessing that's the case, rather than a mechanic that they'll be adding for other people. But yeah, right. Both of them, they kind of showed off their whole movesets and stuff in those little trailers we saw, and yeah, both of them looked really interesting and good. So I'm getting properly excited for Street Fighter 6 now. Like, I really like the look of it. It's good.
The most exciting announcement for me, there was barely anything to the announcement, but still exciting for me. New Tekken title announced. We got a teaser trailer, which they did a whole thing of, here's the new next update for Tekken 7, and it's all stuff to do with the Tekken Fighting Tournament 2022 and all that kind of thing. Updates to the games and character rebalancing and all the things that are needed. And then at the very end, they showed a clip of the Kazuya ending for Tekken 1, where Kazuya throws Heihachi into the volcano, and then he turns and he smiles, and then it goes to a new version, a much more high fidelity version of Kazuya Mishima, and does the same smile to the camera. I don't think that says Tekken 8. I think that says Tekken Reboot,
You reckon?
Ooh,
if I were to guess.
good shout.
Yeah.
Not a bad shout.
Which I'd be up for. The stories mode has gone so silly, especially in 7, that I think it would be good to have a reboot of that game.
Good to get back to the days of throwing your dad in a volcano, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Punching the crap out of a bear.
Or a kangaroo.
Yeah. Roger and... Oh, yeah, because they took Roger out of the game because people complained about it.
Pizza.
How dare you beat up on a kangaroo?
That kangaroo was
Kangaroos
vicious.
are nasty. No, kangaroos are vicious.
Yeah.
They really don't like anything apart from other kangaroos.
I mean,
Didn't they
I
take
fed
one
some
of
in
those-
Australia.
like-
They were nice.
Isn't there there's like that anime Catgirl character in 7 as well, and they took her out of the US version because everyone complained when they did the announcement. They were like, "Oh, stupid girl character, stupid, making the game all girly," and the creator came
Thanks,
back
America.
with something like, "You dumb Americans, oh, sorry we didn't have another oiled up muscle man for you," but we get it because we're in the UK, so
Good. That's okay then.
that was funny.
All you manly men can be secure in your sexuality that you can play an oiled up dude rather
I think
than
that was the character. I'd have to look into that, but yeah, I remember that being a thing. That is all
America.
That is all the news from EVO. One last bit of news this week. Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed.
Yowza.
Yeah, so we were meant to get that really soon, actually.
Yeah,
we were.
On an earnings call, the Firaxis title has been said that they haven't given a clear indication of when this is getting delayed till, but it's meant to arrive sometime later this fiscal year, which for Take-Two is sometime before March of 2023.
Yeah, that's bad news for being released this year, no?
But they already pushed it to October already, didn't they?
Yes.
So they pushed it again. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was meant to be a summer game, then it was an October game, and now it's, we don't know.
Yeah.
And now it's still a summer game, but just summer 2023.
Probably not this year.
When they did the announcement, it's like, this screams mobile game to me. And then when they did the deep dive, I went, there's something about this game that I want to play it, but I know I'm not going to like it. So, I don't know if it's just the Marvel stuff that I'm going, I want to play this game, but then I look at how you play the game and I hate this.
Yeah, but then you go, but Marvel.
But Marvel.
Yeah.
But I want to be played.
Yes.
But Spider-Man Dan. Spider-Man Dan.
But Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Dan.
Spider-Man Dan.
Spider-Dan. Lucky me.
Yeah.
Is that
Not many people can
is
do
that.
that.
That fuzzy
That's
news
all the
coming out again?
news we have
It is
for
whipping its way.
this week. I thank you.
Very well done, Coleman.
Nice.
Very well done. That's about it, really, isn't it?
If you've enjoyed this show and you want to show support to this here show and the whole
I
website
have.
at bigredbarrel.com in general, then why not go over to tpublic.com/store/BRB and you can get yourself some of our fine merch, including the very popular, the super lovely, what everyone wants, Dan's face on a t-shirt saying,
I've never
eating
had my face
dust.
on a t-shirt before.
Yeah.
We must have sold at least 3 of those suckers by now.
It's all Tim. Tim's just got all these t-shirts.
I own one. That's about it, I think. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
I saw we sold an episode 500 t-shirt as well online. That was
yes.
nice.
We sold a few of those.
Massive shout out to Bleezy.
Nice one, Bleezy. Yeah, that's still available. I don't know whether to make that a limited edition for a limited time or whether we should keep that up for a while or never sure with those things. If it's just for
Never
episode
know.
500.
Anyway,
Might not exist forever. That's all I'm saying.
once again, that's tpublic.com/stores/BRB. There will be a link in the show notes of this here episode, of course.
Tim, it's Tuesday. You like to talk about Tuesdays. You like to talk about tables that have tops on Tuesdays. Why don't you combine all of these things into wondrous smorgasbord of news that we can then regale in the wondrousness of your face in? There we go.
Thank you. Anyone that doesn't know, each and every Tuesday we do an event called Tabletop Tuesday. We have a different feature game. If you play that feature game that evening, you have a chance of winning a copy of the game at the end of the evening. I've had a few new people along in the last couple of weeks, so thank you very much for those that have joined us. And this week we are having a Jurassic Park, or maybe Jurassic World, I should say, themed week. So we have Jurassic World Shuffle as our kind of main game, but we also have another game that we'll be giving away. And there's already a Jurassic Park board game available in store. So if you play any of those, you can win 2 of the... We're giving away 2 games, and we have 3 Jurassic Park games to play. So come play some Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, depending on your age. And and we can play some games, win some games, play some games with people. It's a very nice way to get introduced to people. There are more details on the top left-hand side of bigredbarrel.com. And you can also search meetup.com and search for Tabletop Tuesdays. And we join the over 2,000 members that have joined us there. Also, just so
It's a lot of members.
other people are aware, we're also doing some Blood on the Clock Tower online. I will put some more details up on the Discord server as soon as I remember to do that sometime next week. But otherwise,
as soon
that's
as I
something
work
else.
out how to install Discord.
That's something else that we can, if you're interested in, I can give you a link to that and stuff as well. But yeah, we'll have some more stuff coming up with that in the future as well. It's a good time to get involved with Tabletop Tuesday, so come along, play some games, win some games, and meet some people that like playing games and can play with you.
I do love the thrilling weekly installment of Tim Hibbs versus the internet. It's who will win? Who will win? Oh, it's the internet again.
What I like is when people get in contact with us here on the show, and you can do so on our social media platforms of Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That's Big Red Barrel on Facebook and Twitter. Big Red Barrel TV on YouTube. Still trying to sort that out.
Before you do the questions, I just want to give a shout out to It's Me, Andy Baines, for having my back, saying, when did Dan drone on? Thank you. I did not drone on. I was giving highly valuable advice about power adapters you might like to buy for your shiny new Steam Deck.
No, I think what happened is... Andy Baines, he was listening to you talk about power adapters and went into a coma for that period of time. So when he came he didn't realise that you were droning on. Was it getting in the way of all the super fun talk about menus? Also, you were the one who said droning on.
That's not the point.
Listen back to it already.
That's not the point.
Anywho, sorry, Big Red Barrel on Twitter and Facebook, Big Red Barrel TV on YouTube. We have a comment section on bigredbarrel.com, but we also there have a link to our Discord. That is where people tend to get in contact with us to ask us questions. They say things like, I have a question. We got some really good ones, actually. Let's go with Quaxel. He says, my question is, when did gaming reach its peak, or is that yet to come?
Now, it's the end of a long work day on a very warm day, so there's a very good chance I'm going to be pessimistic and miserable in my answer to this.
I mean, that's every week, like, Dan. Don't blame the weather for your pessimism.
All right. A bit of me would love to think it has yet to come.
Yep.
But one level of me will always have a sweet spot for the state of 16-bit console gaming circa 1993, 1994. I think that for me was the golden era. I think it, whether or not it's peaked is a matter for your own judgment. To me, that was a particularly great era of gaming, but I hope that, other great eras around the corner are around the corner.
Yeah, of course. Always looking forward to the future, but I would say 2009. Carry on.
Yeah.
Why 2009?
I'm not telling you. Didn't ask for me to explain the answer.
Yeah, there's one particular
you just picked
year.
a random year.
Yeah, there's one particular year that a lot of people pick as being one of the best in gaming. I can't remember, there was a big Metal Gear game that came out that year. I think it's 1998.
1297 when they invented chess.
I think it's 98 that a lot of people quote as one of the high points. I could be getting that wrong. But anyway.
It was 97, 98.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, that's one of the nice things about gaming. It's an ever-evolving thing where technology can make things better, but whether that necessarily has diminishing returns over time is something that, don't necessarily get to see. For me, gaming is almost at its greatest now because we've got so many different ways of doing things. You do have high-quality mobile games. You do have games you can play on the go on Switch, and Dan with his massive deek. And for me, VR and stuff like that. There's new, it's a much more fragmented market.
Can't play that on the go.
Yeah, no. But it's a much more fragmented market than it used to be. But I think
playing VR on the toilets are
creates
really high risk
interesting pockets which can create something that is of more interest to you as an individual and can cater to your needs and wants and desires and all that type of stuff. So I don't know. I think we get less
desires.
I think we get less.
Someone likes the sexy games.
I think you can get less big games now than we did a few years ago, and I think that might be an ever increasing thing where we don't get as many standout massive titles that really show off everything video games can do in one go. But
yeah. Actually, that's a really good shout out. I think kind of the era of the AAA game might have passed, but I think it's now smaller indie developers are increasingly getting, but the way the business model is now, I think smaller indie developers are getting more of the time of day, and I think that's where almost a bit like the days of the Amstrad and the Spectrum back in the 80s, where it's the smaller developers are actually having the biggest impact, and I think that's really exciting.
That's also an era where the smallest developers could make a game in their garage and go, oh, it's not finished in time. Let me just make an impossible jump so no one knows that there's no more levels past this point. That was a thing that would happen.
Yeah.
Smart thinking.
Demo.coop, Coop Co-op, I'm assuming Coop, says, I saw a tweet today where someone said Stray isn't worth the money because it's only 5 hours long. Obviously, hours played per pound is a terrible metric. What's ultimately the best/worst metric that should be used? Other than big red barrels, Tim, of course. Number of menus?
Number of buttons that are just there to meow. That's worth paying for. I'd pay for a meow button. I was happy with that.
Are we looking for positive things or are we looking for negative things?
Whatever metric you want, Dan. You can have a joke answer if you want. Like number of guests you can maul as a bear in your bed and breakfast.
I think there
number
is
of ways
to
you
be
can disembowel your guests in a bed and breakfast as a bear.
There is something to be said for like value for money in the number of hours you do get for a game. Yes, ultimately I kind of see some of the point there, but the thing is that changes the value proposition of a game per person, because the value that you attribute to your time and the value that you weigh up against something else, it means that you almost can't recommend something on a recommendation scale of a 1 to 5 kind of rating.
And what do you mean by value?
Yeah, like it's...
What do you mean by value? It's like, for example, Journey is a fairly short game, which I think at the time retailed for like 15 quid, something like that. It's probably got a similar metric-ish to Stray, but I still think that's one of the best games I've ever played. And when I look back on it, but I know it's a wanky term, but the kind of the experience of it and my memories of it and my thoughts of it, I actually got a lot of value, i.e. enjoyment from that
game
relative to what I paid for it. But aside from that, I would like a turn-based game that has the length of the turn completely perfectly calibrated. There we go. It has the length of a turn calibrated to be just less than the time it takes for your leg to go to sleep while sat on the toilet. That would be a particularly high-value game for me.
That's not particularly good.
That's a great... No, seriously, it means you can do your business and not get so engrossed in the game that you give yourself a dead leg. We've all done it.
The metric to measure a truly great game in my world is, did it make Coleman feel like a superhero? So that's why Spider-Man and the Arkham games are the best games.
Make Coleman feel big, Coleman. Coleman happy.
By that metric, you have to buy Midnight Suns.
Well, no, that's the metric that IGN used for Spider-Man, because they said... I remember that review video. They said it makes you truly feel like Spider-Man at least 6 times.
But they said it in the review, or that the game has a sum total of 6 times you feel like Spider-Man.
Watch the review video. It's hilarious.
All right.
But there is a little asterisk next to all of our reviews of Stray, because none of us technically paid for it. Yes, both of them. And a Get Offense.
I did. Wow.
But I was willing to pay for it.
I would have paid for it.
How much? Maybe in a quantity.
Well, it's £25. I was willing to pay £25 for it. I think that's a good price for it. £5 an hour.
I can see why people would criticise that.
It's better than it's worse than minimum wage. That
versus the amount of time, because there's not a massive amount of replayability in the game either. I mean, there is probably a few more hours if you're collecting everything, but yeah.
Or if you just want to chill out and be a cat.
Yeah, just want to scratch things.
Oh, that'd be great.
Rub up against robots' legs. Brilliant. Do a little figure of 8 in them. Let's have one more. We've got... Ed. He says...
Hello, Ed.
What are some good wedding-themed games or games set on a holiday that you would recommend for someone forced to go on holiday for a wedding?
I'm going on holiday for a wedding this weekend. I'm going to play Into the Breach, but...
Are you and Ed getting married?
No, this is not true.
Holiday games to take away... games to take away on holiday. I went away to Italy and I took the the South Park Fractured But Whole on my Switch.
That's a good
shout. That was the best thing. That just ate up the plane ride and the waiting, the train to get to the airport, to waiting in the airport, to the plane, to the coach ride afterward. It was a long coach ride, so that was a good game to keep me occupied.
And
highly recommend that one for holidays.
Yeah, Into the Breach is actually
and
a good
turn-based
as well. Yeah, because it's turn-based and that's good for that. Thronebreaker is another one I'll chuck into the mix as well, because that's a good game on the mobiles, on Switch and other things. And could be
Pokemon, I think any of them.
Yeah, it's turn-based stuff I think does really well. Like Darkest Dungeon would be good as well.
Pokemon.
Turn-based.
That is also turn-based.
Yes.
Pokemon.
That's also turn-based.
Pokemans. Yeah,
There you go.
all those things.
I mean, they're not really
Sorted.
holiday themed unless you play like Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is based.
Miles
they're usually
Morales.
they're environments that are based
turn-based.
on different countries. So if you were going holiday to a different country, maybe that could be represented in the Pokemon game you're playing. Like Sun and Moon is based like sort of Hawaii. The last Sword and Shield were based around Britain. You know, I think the next one's Spain.
We're all doing this wrong. It's Ed. Play something terrible, Ed. Ruin your holiday. Play Animal Crossing or something.
Yeah, no, play something terrible to make. Yeah, play
Maybe
something
that's not
terrible to make
but-
the wedding actually feel enjoyable. You miserable git. You know,
Play
you're
something
there for the
bad.
wedding. Celebrate in your friends' love for one another.
Isn't Animal Crossing sort of holiday themed?
Cult
Yeah,
the
well,
lamb.
that's what.
Yeah, Cult of the Lamb, sod it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Screw Animal Crossing. Kill all the animals.
Yeah, cult the lamb.
Good. I'm glad we did all that.
I think we did.
We'll leave it at that for this week.
Let's do that. That's good. So Coleman's already told you all the places to go on the internet. So check the show notes. Check them show notes, but especially say hello to us on Discord because we like that. And do leave a review on the podcast proffering service of your choice because we always like reviews. And it's always nice. And it's been a while since we've had one.
It's been a while.
So it'd be lovely if you... Well, yeah, I know. Anyway, that's it. Next week, there will be another show. I'm probably not going to be at said next week's show, so my apologies because work have other exciting ideas for me, which
They're
don't
gonna
involve
beat him.
playing video games. Boo. So, yeah, you're going to be in the company of these two, plus minus anyone else who they can rope in to do it.
We don't get guests when it's just me and Tim because of his horrible lag.
Well, this is very true. So that's it. That's your show. That's episode 503 in the bag. So thank you so much for listening. And all that really remains is for me to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
It's 31 degrees in this room and my computer sounds like it's going to explode. I have been chaos and so has my laptop.
Oh, I'm actually sweating out the back of my elbows. It's horrible. So, until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
You and your ears are quite welcome.
For the podcasting goodness that you just heard.
Why not roll on over
To BigRedBarrel.com.
for more podcasts?
News, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet. BigRedBarrel.com.
Tell me
it's-
about the bread dog, Dan.
Its breath contains useful yeast.
Oh,
And Fido ferments things in its vicinity using the yeast in its breath. Said
think I used
yeast
the
is
data.
useful for cooking, as Pokemon's been protected by people since long ago. But